Vikings, led by Leif Erikson, established small settlements in and around Vinland in North America around this time. Sweyn Forkbeard received a tribute from Ethelred II. Robert II of France invades the Duchy of Burgundy, then ruled by Otto William, Duke of Burgundy. Jing de Zhen porcelain enters a period of significant production during the Song dynasty. The Republic of Pisa conducts a military offensive against the Saracen strongholds in southern Italy. The brightest supernova ever recorded, SN 1006, occurs in the constellation of Lupus. The Book of the Kells is stolen from the Abbey of Kells. The tale of Genji is completed. The Lai dynasty in Vietnam proclaimed by Emperor Lai Tai To after the death of Li Long Din, the last monarch of the Li dynasty. Aylmer Malmesbury attempts flight in a glider of his own construction. Ibn al-Haytham, an Arab scientist working in Egypt, feigns madness for fear of angering the Caliph and is kept under house arrest. King Malcolm II reputably defeats a Danish army at Cruden Bay, modern Scotland. King Henry II of Germany signs a peace treaty at Mersburg with Duke Boleslav the Brave of Poland. The Byzantine armies of Basil II are victorious over Samuel of Bulgaria in the Battle of Claydon. Earl Erik Håkonsson outlaws berserkers in Norway. In the Battle of Nesje off the coast of Norway, Olaf Haraldsson is victorious over former co-regent Sven Håkonsson, confirming his status as King of Norway. Rajendra I, ruler of the Chola dynasty, modern India, conquers Sri Lanka and annexes the island. The Korean general Gang Gam Chan inflicted heavy losses to the Khitan forces at the Battle of Kwiju. Erlanga establishes the kingdom of Kahurapan. The Book of Healing, a vast philosophical and scientific encyclopedia, is written by Avicenna, Persian scholar. The Chinese capital of Kaifeng has approximately 500,000 residents by this year. Pilgrim, Archbishop of Cologne, marches with his army down the Tyrrhenian coast to lay siege to Capua. Abad I declares the Taifa of Seville independent from Cordoban rule. Kievan Viking raiders, 800 men, sail through the straits at Abydos to the Aegean Sea in the Battle of Lemnos. Boleslav the Brave is crowned in Gniezno as first king of Poland. Conrad I proceeds to Pesaro, but a malarian outbreak forces him to withdraw up north to the Po Valley. This is the first year of the first Rabshung, 60-year cycle to start in the Tibetan calendar. Zoe Porphyrogenita takes the throne as Empress Consort. Prince Pandolf IV of Capua becomes the de facto ruler of southern Italy, holding Capua and Naples. King Olaf II Haraldsson attempts to reconquer Norway with help from King Anund Jacob of Sweden in the Battle of Stilkestad. The Byzantine general George Maniakis captures Edessa from the Arab Muslims and stabilizes the eastern frontier. Emperor Romanus III, Argyros, sends a Byzantine expeditionary army to reinforce the Byzantine position in Calabria, southern Italy. King Misko II signs an agreement with Conrad II at Hoftag in Mersburg. A Pisan and Genovese fleet attack Bona, modern Annaba, on the Maghribi coast, modern Tunisia. Canute the Great dies, and his kingdom of present-day Norway, England and Denmark was split amongst three rivals to his throne. The Tangut script is devised by Yeli Renrong for Emperor Jin Zong of Western Jia. Ferdinand becomes the King of Castile and Leon, modern Spain, after the Battle of Tamaron. The Western Jia declare their independence from the Liao dynasty in China. Henry III succeeds as King of Italy and Burgundy. King Duncan I is killed in battle against his first cousin and rival Macbeth, who succeeds him as King of Scotland. Samuel Arber becomes King of Hungary. Norman mercenaries assemble at Matera and decide to elect William Ironarm as Count of Melfi and the leader of the Normans in southern Italy. Eze Nri Ifikyuanim becomes the first king of the Nri kingdom in West Africa. German troops under King Henry III defeat Hungarian army led by King Samuel Aba in the Battle of Menfeu. The Bagratid Kingdom of Armenia is surrendered to the Eastern Roman Empire, ending the kingdom. King Henry III the Black travels to Italy to secure the imposition of Guido da Velate, Archbishop of Milan. Constantine IX allows the Pachang tribes to cross the Danube River and to settle permanently in the Byzantine territory. King Edward the Confessor goes to war against Flanders, blockading the English Channel with a fleet based at Sandwich in Kent. Construction of the Iron Pagoda in Kaifeng during the Chinese Song dynasty. Macbeth, the Red King of Scotland, makes a pilgrimage to Rome. King Henry I of France marries Anne of Kiev at the Cathedral of Reims. The Zirid dynasty is defeated by the invading Bedouin tribes of the Banu Hilal in the Battle of Jabal Haydaran. Byzantine Emperor Constantine IX Monomachus makes peace with the Pechenegs. A large supernova is observed by astronomers, the remnants of which would form the Crab Nebula. Construction on the Liaudi Pagoda in Hebei is completed. Ferdinand I, Count of Castile and King of Leon, crowns himself the Emperor of Spain. King Anawrahta captures Thetan, the capital of the Thetan Kingdom, strengthening Theravada Buddhism in Burma. Almoravids conquer the Bergawata, a group of Berber tribes who have established an independent state in modern-day Morocco. Alp Arslan succeeds his father Chagri Beg as governor of Khorasan. The compilation of the new Book of Tang is completed under a team of scholars led by Wu Yang Zhu. Norman forces led by Duke Robert Guiscard and his brother Roger I invade Sicily. Harold Godwinson leads a successful campaign against King Gruffudd ap Llewellyn. The Pizi Pagoda, located at Lingyang Temple, Shandong Province in China, is completed. The Aztecs migrate from Aztlan to the southern lands in central Mexico. The kingdoms of Galicia and Portugal become independent under the rule of Garcia. Harold Godwinson is defeated and killed in the Battle of Hastings by the Norman William the Conqueror, who is crowned King of England. Winchester Castle in Hampshire is founded by William I. Go Sanjo succeeds Go Reizei as the 71st Emperor of Japan. Emperor Shenzong of Song China appoints Wang Anshi as his chief chancellor, who implements the new policies. The rebuilding of York Minster in England begins. Defeated the Byzantine Empire at the Battle of Manzikert by the Seljuk army of Alp Arslan, ending 3 centuries of a Byzantine military and economic golden age. King Sancho II defeats the Castilian forces of his brother Alonso VI near Carrion de los Condos in the Battle of Golpachera. Emperor Michael VII Dukas sends Byzantine army to deal with Seljuk raiding in Cappadocia. Emperor Henry IV is forced to restore the peace with Duke Otto of Nordheim, a leader of the Saxon rebellion, in the Treaty of Gerstungen. Shang Qiu, Chinese polymath, scientist and statesman, solves a border dispute with the Liao dynasty by dredging up old diplomatic records. The Song Chinese allied with the southern Vietnamese Champa and Cambodian Chenla to conquer the Lai dynasty, which was unsuccessful. The Walk to Canossa by Henry IV of the Holy Roman Empire. Nikephoros Botaniges, a Byzantine general, strategist of the theme of Anatolix, revolts against Emperor Michael VII Dukas. Omar Khayyam, Persian mathematician and astronomer, calculates a 33-year calendar, the most accurate of his time. Osmond, Bishop of Salisbury, builds Devizes Cathedral in Wiltshire. King Alfonso VI of Castile exiles his most famous commander, El Cid. The first mention of the town of Hofgeismar, modern Germany, is recorded. Ceuta falls to the Almoravids after a 5-year siege. Sima Guang, Chinese chancellor and historian, completes with a group of scholars the Zhizi Tongjian, a chronicle of the universal history of China. Cathedral Scholar in Lund, modern Sweden, the oldest school in Scandinavia, is founded by King Canute IV of Denmark. The Domesday Book, detailing the land holdings and resources in England, is completed, which is drawn up on the orders of William I. Completion of Bab al-Futa, Cairo. The University of Bologna is established around this time. Northumbria is divided by William II into the counties of Northumberland, County Palatine of Durham, Yorkshire, Westmoreland, and Lancashire. Hassan-i-Sabah founds the Nijari Ismaili state after taking control of the Alamut Castle. A Norman fleet led by Count Roger I Bosso arrives in Malta. Emperor Alexios I Komnenos bribes one of Khalij Arslan's officials to recover Sinope, the capital of Paphlagonia. King Malcolm III invades Northumberland but is killed by English forces while besieging Alnwick Castle. El Cid completes his conquest of Valencia in Al-Andalus, modern Spain. The Council of Clermont is called by Pope Urban II to discuss sending the First Crusade to the Holy Land. The People's Crusade under Peter the Hermit is defeated by the Seljuk Sultanate of Rum. The Castilian and Leonese army of King Alfonso VI is defeated by Almoravid forces near the castle of Consuegra. The Crusaders under Bohemond I captures Antioch after an 8-month siege. After a month-long siege by the European Crusaders, the Kingdom of Jerusalem is established in the Middle East. Tuareg traders established the city of Timbuktu, modern Mali, north of Djenné along the Niger River.